Hi everybody. So today we are going to be doing an activity that you could do in your classrooms to teach Latin roots. So this recording is a dual recording between my computer and the instruction as well. So I'll do my best to cut out some of the transitionary parts, but just be patient with me if there are some technical difficulties along the way. So basically what you're seeing here is the demonstration slides, and just to demonstrate how you will get the worksheet that we will be working through, here's the link right here. So you'll click on that and it'll bring you to a Google Doc. Now this is already on my account, so I am there. But what you will do is just go down, download, and then I've already had it downloaded over here as a Microsoft Word doc so that you can actually type in it. So that's basically how you do that. And as you can see, I have my tabs open on two dual screens so that I can watch the video that will be uploaded here as I also do the worksheet over here. So we can do our worksheet, we can type in our name, and let's just read the directions here. So you have been tasked with finding the answers to this ancient Sumerian riddle. Using your sleuthing skills and your knowledge on Latin roots, decode the following root meanings in order to collect the letter that completes the riddle. So with each question, you will there'll be options for the meaning of the Latin root, and whatever the answer is, you'll get the letter for it that you can highlight on the page. And then down here, you'll see the corresponding question number is where you'll put the letter. So this worksheet, I put a bunch of sleuths that can help you and encourage you along the way. But we'll go through the first two just as an example. So over here we have, let me bring this a little bit bigger here for you. We have the word, let's first look at the riddle. There is a house, one enters it blind and comes out seeing. What is it? So we're trying to figure out what happens when this person enters a house blind, but they come out seeing. So what happened? So the first Latin roots, the words that have the Latin roots in it that we'll look at is val. And so we see the word value, valor, and devalue. Something I forgot to mention. At this point, you will already have had some background knowledge of some Latin roots and their meanings, and you would have already learned the distinction between Greek and Latin roots. Latin being that they stand alone, and that they usually come like at the very beginning or very end. Very rarely do they come in the middle. And they also, they can stand on their own. So you would have already taught the kids this. Okay, so looking back on this first example, there's value, valor, and devalue. So here Hello everybody. So let us look at the word, or the root val, if I can get my cap off my marker. All right. So, all right. First, let us find the root within each word. So, value is right here. Valor, right there. And devalue. Now, see, this is a little bit different because, like I said, a Latin root can stand on its own, but here we can see it in the middle. That's very rare, but it can happen, especially because there's this prefix over here. But if you look, it's just like the word value, just D in front of it. Now, the word that we'll come up with, does anyone have any suggestions? Yes, perfect, awesome. So we will put the word val. And see, I'm writing this with my I couldn't think of a better setup for this. Valid. Good. When we check the validity, or if a source is valid, what are we checking for? Yes, to make sure that the source itself is correct, and that it would be helpful in our papers. Now let's look at the word value. What do we think of when we think of the word value? Money, yes. So we do often think of money when we think of value, but what are we actually really looking at? How much value you have, or how much money you have. It's not the actual thing of money. So I can see why people would think it is money here, but of course it is not. And I could see why someone would think it would be truth with the word valid, because if something's valid, it is truthful. But both of those words using that root do not correlate with the word valor. When we think of the word valor, we think of knights and people of strength and of worth. Yes. So the best answer, even though these two would be really great, but the most universal answer would be strength and worth. So that will be the one that we circle here. So what we have learned is we chose the word valid over there, and you can make that look like that. And then again, the word val, as we can see from each of these examples, means strength and worth. So we'll highlight the A, and this is question number 1. So then we'll put the A right here. So that's the first letter. So there's 2 words. So A something. The next one that we have is corrupt, disrupt, eruption. All right, so now we're going to go over and look at the. So for our second example, we are looking at the words corrupt, disrupt, and eruption. Now, what root do you find in all of these? Right, rupt. Awesome job. So here's rupt, here's rupt, and then here's rupt. And again, we do have this part up here with the erupt, and then the shun at the end. So there's part of this integrated within, but this can still stand alone as a Latin root. Now, looking at these, oh, I jumped to it again. Let's figure out another word that we can put there. Oh, awesome. That's a great one. Let's do rupture. Awesome. And there is that rupt there. Great one. All right. Now let's look at these words and see what they all have in common. Start with the word eruption. Eruption. Now, what can we think of that has an eruption? Good, a volcano has eruption. And let's take the word that we used before. Rupture. What can you rupture? Rupture a bone, rupture a muscle. It's usually medical terms, right, that you think of for rupture. So eruption and rupture. What do you think that means when the volcano, when the magma, it what? So that it spews out in a volcanic eruption. Does it fall? Does it speak? No. Yeah, right. It breaks. Ooh, there you go. So while looking at the word, you just kind of have to use examples of these words and understand what they mean in order to kind of look at what the root itself might mean in all of these different contexts together. Awesome job, guys. So as when we looked at the word rupt, the example word that we created was rupture. And the what it means, we have deduced that it means to break. So that's an S, and we'll put it down here. All right, so now you have a something that starts with an S. And so you'll do the rest of the worksheet and figure out the answer to this riddle. Now, for your reader's study notebook, just to review what you will do after you finish that worksheet, is you'll write down 3 new words that you've learned through this activity, and you can draw that from the examples that we have here, like if you didn't know what audible was, spectator. You can look up these definitions. I highly encourage using a dictionary of your own, or a highly regarded dictionary source like Merriam-Webster dictionary online. But write down 3 new words that you have learned through this activity, and then write a sentence or 2 or 3 sentences, depending on how much you can fit in, using those 3 words, or as many other words from the activity as you can. So there's many different words that you have here, just so that you can practice using these words, knowing what their meanings are. And from my deepest heart, I hope that you have a really great day. It was nice seeing you all again. Sorry this instruction was a little bit longer, but for an older audience, you would want it to be a little bit longer and more involved within a word study so that they can really dig deeper into the meanings and the usefulness. As always, you have a great day, and I'll see you later.